your show.
Yeah, welcome to Washington, guys. Great to have you here.
Thank you. So first off, there's so many different storylines. The biggest one, of course, is the inaugural. The other subplot is we have what's happened, the drama overseas with the release of the hostages in TikTok. But first off, Donald Trump just seems to be on cloud nine. You saw him a little bit last night. He's going to have a series of rallies and appearances today. Can you describe and compare how this inaugural feels compared to other years?
Well, I got to tell you, from 8 years ago, it feels very different than when President Trump and Melania, former First Lady, soon to be First Lady again, when they showed up, they were scrambling. I don't think, listen, people who elected President Trump loved that he was not a Washington insider, but that meant, I think in a lot of ways, he didn't know exactly what he was walking into. It feels like there's so much further down the line when it comes to getting their nominees, getting their employees, people lined up to actually step into positions next week. And his agenda, he knows how it works on Capitol Hill, who's for him, who's against him. So it just seems a lot more organized. And you guys have met all the people that are here for the events, and they're super excited.
Shannon, even the Washington Post are framing it this way. They're saying this: the president-elect Donald Trump has returned to Washington triumphant. His legal cases are behind him. Corporate executives are flocking to Mar-a-Lago to meet with him. His inaugural committee has raised record sums of money for Monday's ceremony, and the Republican Party is now fully in his control. I mean, on all areas, it looks like he is getting 5 stars.
Yeah, and 3 or 4 years ago, you guys know, everybody had, written his political obituary. It was over. I mean, this is really one of the biggest comeback stories in U.S. politics. Just to see what a difference 3 or 4 years can make. And our latest Fox News polling has him at the highest approval rating we've ever measured him at. So people have had 4 years of him. They knew what he was like. They knew the downside, the upside. They've had 4 years of a different administration. And now President Trump is coming back for round 2. And our polling shows that Americans cannot wait for him to get back. And the issues they care most about, they think he's ready to tackle on day one. So it's not just the people, not just the voters, but as you said, big tech, Silicon Valley, which was so supportive of the left and of Democrats, many business leaders, many foreign leaders. I mean, they're acting as if he is the guy that's going to turn things around, and they're excited to see him back.
Right. Well, and one of the issues that impacts a lot of people is TikTok. There are 170 million Americans on TikTok, 5 million businesses. The Congress passed a bill to essentially ban TikTok. Supreme Court upheld on Friday, said, yep, it can go dark. Last night, it essentially went dark, but now, essentially because Joe Biden, Shannon, didn't enforce the ban, now it is up to Donald Trump. And just in the last hour or so, Donald Trump posted on Truth Social, save TikTok. So if you had to guess, it sounds like TikTok's going to live.
Well, there's a provision in the law that allows him to delay this ban on TikTok for 90 days if there is, quote, significant progress toward a divestiture deal. Now, can the president-elect make that argument that it's actually moving ahead? Can he show evidence of, the statute has language like, documents and agreements in place. I don't think we're there, but there are people like Kevin O'Leary and these other groups that have stepped forward to say, we want to get something done. Has ByteDance, though, shown any indication that it wants to come to the table and make a deal? So far, no. And it's had time. I mean, critics who say, listen, even if they align with President Trump on a lot of things, including Senator Tom Cotton this morning saying, good, it should be dark. We passed the law. They had plenty of time and made no moves to divestiture. So even people who are Team MAGA and Team Trump, they may split with him on this issue of keeping TikTok alive. And it can live. It just can't be owned by the people who own it now.
As long as it's safe.
Right. There's 30 other nations that have banned it partially or fully, including India, which had more followers. The editor-in-chief is the secretary of the Chinese Communist Party. All you have to do is take a look at it. This is absolutely a spying device for the Chinese. There should not be a hard decision. And the president could have taken it out of his own hand. Just let the Supreme Court speak.
Shannon, I know you have your show today, Fox News Sunday, right here on the Fox News channel. Who's coming on your show today?
We do. So we're going to have Israel's ambassador to the U.S., Michael Herzog, as we're awaiting the release of these 3 young women this morning. Brand new Senator Dave McCormick from that critical battleground state of Pennsylvania. We're going to talk to him about his unlikely friendship and how he's working together already with his fellow Senator John Fetterman from Pennsylvania and Congressman Jared Moskowitz, Democrat in the House. They've got a lot to get done over there. He voted for the TikTok ban. What does he think about attempts to save it this morning?
Hey, Shannon, you're at a position overlooking the White House. Are the moving trucks still there? Because I read that they started to move the Bidens out yesterday.
I haven't seen them. We've heard a lot of activity, but yeah, there are a lot of folks who are trying to get down to this area to see and watch what is one of the most precision-related, crazy things that happens in Washington, moving out this entire family, moving in an entire new administration. The Trumps feel better positioned to do that this time. Of course, Ainsley, you talked with the First Lady about this. She knows the lay of the land this time around.
Yeah, she does. And she said they have 5 hours on Monday to move out.
And she doesn't
move them out and move them in.
And she doesn't need to measure the drapes. They're her drapes.
That's right. That's right. She's had them before. Shannon, we'll be watching your show.
Thanks,
Thank you
Shannon.
for waking up early with us.
See you guys. Yeah, see you soon.